Speaking of that World Series win in particular, Adrian, you were, I mean, I don't know what the best way to describe this as. You were the light at the end of the tunnel for a lot of Dodgers fans. The trade when you came over to LA, that was kind of the turning point for the franchise that, you know, obviously led into the 8 in a row divisions, all those things. What is it like to watch this team that you've helped get over the hump in the beginning to go on and win a World Series?
I mean, it was great, you know, just seeing guys that I remember, you know, getting to the big leagues for the first time. And, you know, I remember those conversations and the talks and everything that, you know, seeing where they're at now. You know, you see Corey have the series that he had and the playoffs that he had. And you see Jock come up with some big hits and Austin Barnes and, you know, a bunch of different guys, Julio Urias, you know, all these guys have just an incredible playoffs. And, you know, those are guys that came up when I was there and you know, had really good conversations with them. And I'm not going to go out and say I mentored them, but I definitely gave them advice. And it was great to see those guys, you know, have the success that they had, and they're not rookies anymore. You know, they're in the peak of their career, and they showed their talent for sure.
You mentioned there Julio, and you got, you know, somebody like Victor Gonzalez who did so much on the biggest stage when at one point in time he was, you know, the story is he was in tears. He was considering quitting the game. I don't know how much you have had much interaction with Victor, but more so about those two and just what it means to the Mexican community, to the Chicanos around LA and just around the world, to Mexico. What's your take on what they were able to do during this postseason? Really the biggest stage that you can get.
I mean, it was incredible to see. Honestly, it was such a, you know, fun experience. I know that everybody in Mexico is still raving about it, still talking about it. You know, one of the biggest articles is, you know, having Julio be the second Mexican pitcher after Sergio Romo to win a World Series or get the final out of a World Series, and so that's been a big deal. And you know, within all the Chicano community, you know, here in LA, it's been something that everybody's seeing Julio as a potential, you know, next great pitcher, Mexican pitcher, which we already all saw. But now that they saw it on the biggest stage, everybody sees him as the next big Mexican pitcher on the world stage, which is great to see because he deserves that.
Yeah, absolutely. He punctuated his kind of comeback tour, even though he never went anywhere.
Right.
You know, dealing with injuries, dealing with all that, and I mean. Yeah. You know, hopefully he can stay here in LA for a long time, for many years to come.